Yo, 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 we back. We is back. We is back. And I knew it. Yo, remember? Wait, some people coming in. Yeah, bro. I want his ass. I want his ass 2000. Yo, remember I said a while ago, I said, y'all guarantee y'all, if we was to look back into the crack epidemic and a lot of these big time drug dealers and shit, I guarantee a lot of these people was either working with the feds directly or indirectly. Yo, because how was they able to? How else would they be able to push that shit to all these different states, all these different cities? You know the federal government's behind it. The only way they can do that is through their federal informants. It's the only way they can do it. Al Sharpton got booked for trying to buy kilos. I knew he worked with the feds, but I didn't know he got caught trying to buy kilos. I thought he got jammed up like on some tax evasion or some shit like that. And the way he tried to explain it away, I don't think he went to jail. The way he tried to explain it, he explained it like, I was trying to take down the mob. Nah, nope, nope. Uh-uh. That might have been the counter objective. His bitch ass is trying to push coke into the community. Found an article. Yeah, yo. Yeah, I believe a lot of them dudes. Yo, if you didn't get killed, if you was a civil rights activist in that time, you didn't lose your life, you compromised. You know what I mean? If you was a civil rights activist in that time and you didn't get murdered or get sent to prison, then you was compromised, y'all. One way or another. Because that's what they was doing to them dudes back then. You feel me? What separated Al Sharpton from motherfucking Martin Luther King? They was speaking the same shit. What separated Jesse Jackson from motherfucking Martin Luther King? Or Medgar Evers? Or any other of them guys that got killed? What separates them? They all was talking the same shit. They say Jesse Jackson set up Martin Luther King. That was the thing. I don't know how true it is, but that definitely was. That definitely is the thing. Though he was on that balcony. Though he was on that balcony. Yeah, thank you, y'all. He was tripping. His ass lost his motherfucking mind. Yeah, what y'all think about that though? Let me show y'all what brought this back up. Then I'm gonna read this. Then I'm gonna read this article. I think a lot of them guys that was pushing crackers work with the feds, man. We already know that Rick Ross was working with the police. That already been. He didn't came out and said that shit on numerous occasions. Hold on, bro. Oh yeah. Hey yo, hold up. I'll hit you when I get off live. All right. Yeah, so Rick Ross is working with the feds or the police. Who else is working with the police? I think a lot of them big time drug dealers work with the police, man. But let me show you what I'm talking about. Or why this even came back. This nigga got Don King book. I didn't even know he got Don King book. Ain't nothing wrong with the sound, man. Listen to this shit.
About his secret past as a government informant. CBS 2's Dave Carlin tells us the activist admitted to helping the FBI bring down some of New York's most wanted.
I was not and am not a rat.
The Reverend Al Sharpton identified as confidential informant CI7, now admitting he wore a wire for the FBI. He helped the government go after boxing promoter Don King, music executives, and mobsters, including Vincent the Chin Gigante, who famously wore his robe and pajamas in public.
I was cooperating.
Sources say that cooperation likely started after he was nabbed in a drug sting caught on video. Helping the feds may have helped him. But Sharpton says he went to them because members of the mob wanted him dead.
They were threatening to kill me.
Sharpton is kicking off his National Action Network convention this week with headliners President Obama and Mayor de Blasio, who defended Sharpton.
I think he has done a lot of good for the city of New York and for this country.
Retired NYPD Detective Sergeant Joseph Jackalone says unmasking any confidential informant troubles him.
You never want this because we need people to help cooperate, so this is an unfortunate incident.
Sharpton said he has no regrets. He'd do it all again. Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
Man, help push the crack epidemic, man. Listen to this. It's blurry. Let me run it back.
FBI bring down some of New York's wanted.
I was not and am not a rat.
The Reverend Al Sharpton identified as confidential informant CI7, now admitting he wore a wire for the FBI. He helped the government go after boxing promoter Don King, music executives, and mobsters, including Vincent the Chin Gigante, who famously wore his robe and pajamas in public.
I was cooperating.
Sources say that cooperation likely started after he was nabbed in a drug sting caught on video. Helping the feds may have helped him. But Sharpton says he went to them because members of the mob wanted him dead.
They were threatening to kill me.
Sharpton is kicking off his National Action Network convention this week with headliners Presidential Informant troubles.
The question is, right? So let me read this article first. Sharpton was eager to get a slice of the 1980s Coke deal. He was eager to get a slice, man. A drug trafficker who worked for Al Sharpton nonprofit in 1980 said that despite the preacher's denials, he was eager to get a slice of the lucrative drug deal captured on FBI surveillance video. It was greed. He just wanted money. Robert Carrington, 72, told the Post during a 2-day interview at his North Carolina home, detailing for the first time how Sharpton stepped into the FBI's trap and was then forced to become a federal informant. Nope, I don't think he was supposed to do anything. Sharpton has said he showed interest in the drug deal only because he feared the undercover agents was armed. He also claimed that he snitched for the feds. At first reported by a smoking gun this week because the mob was threatening him. He instead provided a detailed account how Sharpton whined and the man he thought was the South African drug lord, and said Sharpton met with him not just once but 3 times. Sharpton's saga began in Manhattan off the Boston boxing big shot Don King in 1983. An unarmed felon to duck a 30-year prison sentence promised the feds he could help them nail King on a coke deal charge. An undercover FBI agent using the name Victor whatever set up a meeting with King to discuss a boxing match in Bahamas. But King, why the fuck that shit doing that? But King been his partner and pawned him off on Sharpton. Yo, all of these guys, man. Yo, all of these guys. Don King. Yo, I'm trying to tell you. I be trying to tell you about these people, man. I'm telling you, yo. I'm telling you. A lot of these people that's still around and stuck around is working with them people, man. I'm telling you. King was sly. He knew something was off about this, Currency said. So he kept him downstairs and let his best friend Al Sharpton talk to him. Sharpton was eager to help and would spend cash taking him to diner and chauffeur him around in a limo, filling him out, Curtin said. Then at a restaurant, they was talking about cutting their steaks. The agent's voice changes midstream and says, I know where 10 kilos of cocaine are, and we can make some big money off of this. Sharpton did not roll alone. He and his friend or advisor with him who says, hold it. This meeting is over. You come in here talking about boxing, now you're talking about cocaine. Let's go. We're not into that. Sharpton was hesitant to leave, Carrington remembered. He believed he wanted to hear him out, but he listened to his friend. Sharpton met with the dude a second time in a hotel again. Cocaine came up, and Sharpton pals called off the meeting. At a third meeting with the guy, Sharpton made sure to go alone, wearing a cowboy hat and chopping on a unit cigar, which was made famous in footage from the FBI surveillance leaked in 2022. The agent said, you would get $3,500 per kilo, said Curtin, who was not at the meeting, but was told about them by Sharpton. Sharpton moved on it and sprung the trap, and they sprung the trap right away. They got him. Al told himself. He bit and took the bait. And once he was caught, he had no choice but to wear wire to save his ample hide from prison. Sharpton said they could do whatever they wanted to do after that. Currency said because they had him. Either he worked for them or they put the news out there that he was into coke. Currency, a former record producer. So you see how they write in this article. They write in this article still trying to save face. It's blurry again? Yo, they write in this article still trying to save face. But his homeboy said that he was into coke. Yo, the feds can't coerce you. This is what I know about the feds, right? The feds can't coerce you if you're not already dealing in that nature. They can't come to you with a drug deal if you're already not dealing drugs. You understand? Now the state can't do that, but the feds can. So if you're already into money laundering and they come at you with a money laundering scheme, yo, that's not entrapment. Is it clear now? Or is it still blurry? Now they want to blur my video up because we talking about these damn motherfucking plants. Is we back clear? JB 2800, one of y'all. Man, hell yeah, man. Them boys ain't right. Y'all keep telling y'all about these people, man. They ain't right. I'm trying to tell you, yo. They ain't right, yo. They ain't right. Magic Johnson ain't right. Niggas ain't right, bro. They ain't right. Magic Johnson never had HIV, man. Magic Johnson was used to turn HIV black. Carrington, a former record producer and music promoter who served 2 years in prison in the late 1970s on drug charges, served as an executive at Sharpton's national movement in the 1980s. Sharpton said on Friday that it's not true, that he was at 3 separate meetings with the undercover agent where cocaine was discussed. Bob Carrington is blatantly wrong, and Sharpton adding that if the repeated meetings were true, he could have claimed entrapment by the government. No, he couldn't have. No, he couldn't have. See, that's people. That's them playing on people not knowing the law. I just told y'all what they can do. If you're already moving in that way, they can then entrap you. So by them being able to do this to Al Sharpton and Don King, it lets you know that they was already selling coke. They was already selling crack, man. They was already selling crack, y'all. They use these guys to push crack into the community, man. He also claimed again that he became a snitch, not because of the drug sting, but because of the threats by the mob. Currency said the activist put on a good show with his bluster and conviction, but inside Sharpton was terrified of the FBI role, recording numerous mobsters like Joseph Joe Banner. He was absolutely frightened about the job he had to do for the FBI. The feds trained Sharpton immediately, and he didn't know how to handle it. He was really tormented. I told him, you should have just listened to your advisors, because you're in deep. I said, why are you talking to these type of people? Come on, man. Even as a preacher against the ravages of crack cocaine in the city, Sharpton loved the white powder, Currency said. When asked about his cocaine use, Sharpton said absolutely unequivocally no. Curtin said Sharpton only had money on his mind. He was like two people, he said. He ran around trying to score money from his national youth movement, but he can't be an activist and an opportunist. I told y'all, yo, y'all think I just be talking, yo. Like I didn't even see this. Let's see if we can find that interview. T- 2002 interview with Al Sharpton in the federal government. He probably scraped that bitch from the internet. They probably scraped it from the internet. Appreciate it. Well, we ready to see if we can find that shit. Hold up.
With FNB, you get better banking no matter where or when. Can your bank do that? The Reverend Al Sharpton is revealing how he worked with the FBI in the mid-1980s. The TV host and activist said yesterday that he did record conversations with alleged mobsters. The Smoking Gun website has documents calling Sharpton a confidential informant for the Bureau. At a news conference yesterday, Sharpton insisted he wasn't a rat.
In my
Reverend Sharpton, the term snitches get stitches was spray painted on the quick trip. Since you're a federal snitch, sir, do you fear for your life?
today I want to tell the feds about a cop.
Just keep going. Are you in fear for your life being a federal informant? And people are.
I want to inform on this policeman today. Just keep moving.
Are you here to snitch on the rioters?
Yes,
Yo, he's still a federal informant, man. he's still a federal informant. like yo, I keep telling y'all, yo, these are lifetime jobs, man. You feel me? These lifetime jobs. Yo, you don't work with the feds though one time, man. Fuck no, he's still a federal informant. That's how he was able to last for this motherfucking long. Yeah, man. He was able to last for this long because he working with them people, man. But the crazy thing about it is, right? This the crazy thing about it. How was Black Lives Matter and all? I'm working with this guy, my son, and all these dudes. How's all these people, the Congressional Black Caucus, all these agencies that knows this history? Like this might be new to some of us, but they know how they work with him, man. How they keep allowing him to come up there and speak when they know when they know that he worked with the motherfucking feds, man. You know what I mean? So it makes you question all of them. Yo, I've been telling y'all this shit for the longest time about these people. A lot of people think I just be talking. or I don't know what people be thinking. Yo, but I know what I'm talking about, man. Know what I'm talking about. Now the interview got scraped. Let's see, we gotta find this interview. It gotta be on the internet somewhere.
With less burning, itching, and pain from moderate
For comedy hype news, form bug forward. So it's so important when you have organizations Sharpton leads like the National Action Network and others.
If you are around New York for the FBI, it turns out that Al Sharpton, now pictured there, back then dramatically heavier and of almost a different person, evidently they caught him in a situation where he was forced either to go to jail, face some charges, or flip and start working for the FBI. Use his connections with the underworld to unearth some connections for the FBI.
Yeah, apparently the FBI caught him he was involved with some drug kingpins, and it was a big coke deal, and they caught him, and they said, Al, you're going to be in big trouble unless you help us.
Yeah.
So start recording these people. Apparently, according to the Smoking Gun, he taped mobsters with that briefcase. He helped the feds bring down members of the Genovese crime family. Now, Al himself says, yeah, I probably helped him, but they never told me I was a criminal or any sort of a mob informant.
What is a political activist doing selling coke in the 80s? What is a political civil rights activist doing selling coke in the 80s, man? I told y'all, yo, black sellouts is the biggest problem. That's why I say, yo, yeah, Vlad, Adam, and all them other guys, yeah, they're an issue. Yeah, but I'm much more concerned about DJU. You hear me? Seti Nash. And those guys. You understand? Because they able to blend in. You know, they able to blend in and perpetrate. Impose. You understand? But meanwhile, they ain't right. I want to find that interview. Al Sharpton Smoking Gun. I want to find that. They probably got that shit scrubbed from the internet. Dang, that shit little as a bitch. Look, the ex-informant has been one of Obama's most unwavering backers. Ex-informant, one of Obama's most wavering backers. Most importantly, he has the heir of the President of the United States, talking about Obama. An equally remarkable and perplexing achievement for the FBI assist known as CI7, the Reverend Al Sharpton. A lengthy investigation by Smoking Gun has uncovered remarkable details about Sharpton's past work as an FBI informant for a joint organized crime task force compromising FBI agents in New York City Police Department detectives, as well as his dealings with an assortment of wise guys. Beginning in the mid-'80s and spanning several years, Sharpton's cooperation was fraught with danger since the FBI principal targets were leaders of the Genovese crime family, the country's largest and most feared mafia outfit. In addition to aiding the FBI and New York PD task force, which was known as Genovese Squad, Sharpton's cooperation extended to several others. Account of Sharpton's secret life as CI7 is based on hundreds of pages of confidential affidavits, documents released by the Bureau in response to Freedom of Information Act requests, court records, and extensive interviews with 6 members of the Genovese Squad, as well as other law enforcement officials to whom the activists provided assistance. Like most every other FBI informant, Sharpton was solely an information source. The parameters of his cooperation Sharpton ever surfacing publicly or testifying on a witness stand. So he ain't never had to testify. Just an information source like WAC 100. Genevieve squad investigators representing both the FBI and NYPD recalled how Sharpton, now 59, deftly extracted information from wise guys. In fact, one Gambino crime family figure became so comfortable with the protest leader that he spoke openly during 10 Wyatt face-to-face meetings. This man's went wise and all that shit about a wide range of mob business, from shock locking, whatever that is, and extortion to death threats and the sanctity of Vincent Chin, whatever. That's why they was trying to kill his ass. They wasn't trying to kill you, boy. They tried to kill you because you started working. Genevieve's boss was long framed mental illness in a bid to deflect law enforcement scrutiny. As the mafioso expounded on these topics, Sharpton's briefcase, a specifically customized Hartman model, recorded his every word. I don't even want to hear about that. Information gathered was used by federal investigators to help secure court authorizations to bug two Genovese family social clubs, including DeJounte Greenwich Village headquarters, 3 autos used by crime family leaders, and more than a dozen phone lines. These listening devices and wiretaps was approved during the course of the major racketeering investigation targeting Genevive's crime hierarchy. A total of 8 separate U.S. District Court judges presiding in 4 federal jurisdictions signed interception orders that were based on sworn FBI affidavits, including information provided by Sharpton. This nigga's a wild ass nigga, man. He probably did. In an interview Saturday, Sharpton again denied working as a confidential informant, claiming that his prior cooperation with FBI agents were limited to efforts to prompt investigations of dealing drugs in minority communities. No, he wasn't. Yo, they say he was they say he was selling crack. He was sniffing coke though. He was sniffing coke. You two playing without numbers. God damn. You know, this is what they do, yo, when they don't want the truth out. No, he was selling coke. I mean, sniffing coke and trying to sell crack to black people. As well as the swindling of black artists in the recording industry. He also repeatedly denied being flipped by federal agents in the course of an undercover operation. When asked specifically about the recordings of the Gambino crime family member, Sharpton was non-committal. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no. If Sharpton's account is to be believed, he was simply a concerned citizen who voluntarily and briefly joined arm in arm with the federal agents, perhaps risking peril in the process. The other explanation for Sharpton's cooperation, one that has informally been offered by knowledgeable law enforcement agents, presents that the Reverend is a less noble life. Worried that he could face criminal charges, Sharpton opted for the path of self-preservation and did what the FBI asks, which is usually how someone is compelled to repeatedly record a gangster discussing murder, extortion, and loan sharking. Alright. Sharpton spoke for an hour in his office at the House of Justice, his Harlem headquarters, where he had just finished addressing a crowd of about 200 people that included his 2 adult daughters and his second wife, whom he has been separated for 10 years. A few minutes into the interview, Sharpton asked, "Are you taping this?" A reporter answered that he was not recording this interview, but had a digital recorder and wished to do so. Sharpton declined that request. In the examination of Sharpton's past involvement with the FBI and Mafia, his denials have served the civil rights leader well. No, his denials ain't serving no civil rights leader well. His denials is the reason he was able to get where he is. So it's like, yo, even yo, you gotta use your own brain, yo, when you reading this shit. Like, even with these articles being done and the people speaking out, they still trying to save face from what the fuck was really going on. And what was really going on is Al Sharpton was selling crack to black people. And he was using, he had other sources that he probably was a fucking kingpin. But this, I think a lot of them guys was, man. I think the feds, yo, because think about this, like I said earlier. How did crack spread like this? How did it spread almost specifically in the, well, not almost, but specifically in the black community? You talking about from California to Baltimore. How did it happen? It's only a few ways that can happen, man. I can only think of one way that can happen, to be honest. Federal informants. It's the only way it can happen. How else could it happen? Man, it's the reason he's still around. It's the reason he's around. Let me send you on your way. Yo, the government used federal informers to push crack into the community. And they probably used a lot of these political figures, like Al Sharpton. Like, how are you a civil rights movement and pushing crack? I wish we can find an interview. They scrubbed it from the internet. Listen to this shit. According to its most recent IRS returns, which Sharpton signed in mid-November in 2013, the National Action Network pays him $240,000 annually for serving as president and CEO. In return for that hefty salary, Sharpton, who hosts a 3-hour daily radio show in addition to his nightly cable TV program, reportedly works for 40 hours a week for the nonprofit, which lists unpaid tax liabilities totaling $800,000. Mm-mm-mm. Look, as an informant in development, as one federal investigator referred to Sharpton, the protest leader was seen as an intriguing prospective source, since he had significant contacts in politics, boxing, and the music industry. Before he was flipped, in the course of the FBI sting operation in 1983, early on in the crack epidemic too, Sharpton had established relations with promoter Don King, various elected officials, and several powerful New York hoodlums involved in concert promoting, record distribution, and talent management. At that time, the music business was overrun by hustlers, con artists, black and white. Sharpton called 1996 autobiography, a federal agent who was not part of the Genovese squad, but who also used Sharpton as an informant, recalled that everyone was trying to mine his music industry ties. In fact, any measure Sharpton himself was a mafia associate. The law enforcement designation given to mob affiliates who's not initiated, work for crime family members while occupying the lowest rung on the LCN org. Well, I don't know what the fuck that is. For more than 4 years, the fact Sharpton was working as an FBI informant was known only to members of the Genovese squad and a small number of law enforcement agents. This was COINTELPRO, man. As with any mafia informant, protecting Sharpton's identity was crucial to maintain the availability of ongoing investigations, not to mention keeping him alive. Yeah, this is a long ass article. In fact, Sharpton had been cooperating with the United States office in Brooklyn as part of an investigation targeting Don King. According to sources involved with the probe, federal agents ran him for a couple months, during which time Sharpton did some recordings via his new telephone. But the nuance Department of Justice operation was abruptly shattered in the wake of the New York Newsday story. The Brooklyn investigators were introduced to Sharpton in the late 1980s. Like, yo, he just working with all these motherfuckers. They passing him around. He was like a hoe. It was like a federal hoe. Look at it. We done with his ass. We gonna send him to New York. We gonna work with him over there. We gonna send his ass to Cali. Yeah, man. That nigga was a freak. Freaky ass nigga. The Brooklyn investigators were introduced to Sharpton in late 1987 by Joseph Spinelli, one of the Reverend's former FBI handlers, and one of the agents who initially secured his cooperation with the Bureau. While Spinelli had left the FBI for another government post, he still helped. Oh, it's a deal. I said, what the fuck? I thought it was something in the sky or something. Like something in the tree. Look, he in LA now. That nigga all over the motherfucking place. He helped facilitate Sharpton's interaction with other investigators. Joe was shopping him around. Once, so I told you he was a hoe. Look, they shot my man around like a hoe. Look, Joe was shopping him around. Yo, crazy. Example, in 1987, Spinelli called a federal prosecutor. Hold up. And offered Sharpton's assistance with a matter the lawyer was handling. The case involved whatever, a mob music industry figure who had just been indicted for tax evasion, and whom Sharpton had previously accused of threatening to take his life. See, so that was later on. You see what I'm saying? So he tried to paint this story that he got to fuck with the mob because the mob wanted to kill him. And like I said in the beginning, just before I even got to that part, that don't even make sense. They wasn't trying to kill you till you got exposed as a fucking federal agent. Then they was trying to kill your motherfucking ass. But you was trying to sell coke to black people. Al Sharpton a bitch. Anybody standing there next to him is the same. You got all these guys at these protests walking around with Al Sharpton, knowing good and goddamn well he trying to sell crack to the community. That's crazy. And kilos. I wonder how many kilos he tried to get caught. He got caught with. Or he tried to sell. Here you go, right here. All right, here you go, right here. All right, let's read this. So why did Sharpton become an FBI informant? And why was he willing to risk the dangers inherent in such cooperation? Hold up, y'all. I'm going to have to read it because that shit hard to look at. Hold on. Inferno Gaming. What it do? Talking about Al Sharpton, bitch ass. Work with them people. Alright. Where we at? He was willing to risk the dangers of inherent cooperation. Thank you. Alright, he thought he didn't have a choice, one Genovese squad agent recalled. In the course of the investigation being run by Spinelli and his partner John Pritchard, Sharpton was secretly recorded in a meeting with an FBI undercover agent posing as a wealthy drug dealer seeking to promote boxing matches. As previously reported, Colombo crime family captain Michael Franzese, and he did Vlad interviews, who knew Sharpton, enlisted the activist's help in connection with Don King. Franzese and Sharpton was later surreptitiously filmed during one meeting with the undercover, while Sharpton and Daniel Pagano, a Genovese soldier, was recorded in another sit-down. Pagano's father Joseph was a Genovese power deeply involved in the entertainment industry, and also managed the crime family rackets in countries north of New York, or counties north of New York. During one meeting with Sharpton, the undercover agent offered to get him pure coke at $35,000 a kilo. As the phony drug kingpin spoke, Sharpton nodded his head and said, "I hear you." When the undercover promised Sharpton a 10% finder's fee if he can arrange the purchase of several kilos, the Reverend referred to the unnamed buyer and said, if he's going to do it, he'll do it. Much more than that. The FBI agent steered the conversation toward the possible procurement of cocaine. Sources said since the investigators believed that Sharpton's acquaintance, Daniel Pagano, who was not present, was looking to consume drugs, Joseph Pagano, an East Harlem native who rose through a Genovese crime notorious of narcotics trafficking, spent nearly 7 years in federal prison for heroin distribution. While Sharpton did not explicitly offer to arrange a drug deal, some investigators thought his interaction with the undercover agent could be construed as a violation of conspiracy laws, though an actual prosecution and FBI acknowledged would have been a reach. Agents decided to approach in light of Sharpton's relationship with Don King. FBI agents wanted to help in connection with the Bureau's 3-year boxing investigation, codenamed Crown Royal, and headed by Spinelli and Pritchett. The FBI agents confronted Sharpton with the undercover videos and warned that he could face criminal charges as a result of secret recordings. Like I said though, he already had to be moving this way, y'all. For them to be able to do that to you, you already gotta be moving this way. He was already selling coke. Where the fuck was I? FBI with knowledge would have been a reach. Agents decided to approach Sharpton and attempt to flip the activist, who was then shy of his 30th birthday. In light of Sharpton's relationship with Don King, FBI agents wanted his help in connection with the Bureau 3-year investigation. The FBI confronted Sharpton with an undercover video. Sharpton, of course, could have walked out and ran to King, Franzese and Pritchett said, but whatever, he decided to work with the fucking police. Man, see to India. What's up, Kevo? He talking about he felt they was trying to entrap me. Has complained that the seasoned investigators were trying to sting me, entrap me, a young minister. In fact, Sharpton fell for the FBI rules and agreed to cooperate, a far-reaching decision he made without input from a lawyer. According to a source, I think there was some fair prosecution on his part, recalled a former agent in an interview. Sharpton claimed that he rebuffed the FBI agents, who threatened to serve him with subpoenas to testify for a grand jury investigating King. My bad, y'all. Investigating King. After being confronted by the Bureau, Sharpton said he was consulted with an attorney, whom he declined to identify. I bet the fuck he did. They probably gave his ass an attorney. I appreciate my man Chu the Pooh. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, we just trying to get the truth out here. YouTube climbed the numbers. We should have way more than 13 people on here. We talking about activists. A black activist that actively participated in the destruction of black people. And YouTube don't want that same. That's crazy. I think we all should know this information. Cause I didn't know this. I didn't know it was this deep. I knew he worked with the feds. So this the video. Why? I knew he worked with the feds. Look, this to him on video right here. These Cartiers. Joe say he can get him per coat 99%. God damn. Yo, he said he can get that man per coat 99% per. Jesus Christ. And he wonder why it fucked the streets up like that. That shit probably nowadays, that shit might be 2% per. Back then you talking about 99%. Look at this part. Following the Bureau guidelines, agents formally opened a 137 informant file. 137, we heard that about WAC 100. 137 informant file, which means all they do is provide information. They never reveal them, and they don't gotta testify. They don't gotta testify. Look, 137 informant. Sharpton, a move that was approved by FBI supervisors. According to several sources, agents anticipated using Sharpton in the Crown Royal case, focused on King, but during the initial debriefing, of their new recruit, it became clear that his contacts in the music business was equally appealing. Sharpton had met James Brown in the mid-70s and became extremely close to the R&B superstar. He worked for and traveled with the Miracle performer, performer, married one of Brown's backup singers, and wore the same processed hairdo as Brown. Then, like Brown, Sharpton would sometimes even wear a cowboy hat, a type of a tribute conch. Yo, this man crazy, yo. Man, I think so. I don't think you can be an informant one time, bro. I don't. I don't believe you can be an informant one. This shit is fucking 3 pages long, yo. I want to find that video. Damn, yo, we might gotta get in the house. Or we might gotta read this whole article, y'all. We might gotta do this next time I get a chance. We might gotta do this next time I get a chance. Cause I'm intrigued. I wanna know more. It's kinda hard reading and holding the phone and shit. I wonder what's up with my son, man. I'm ready to send this shit to my son, bitch ass. Tell him, man, you don't trust them niggas, man. Look, after an attempt to detour into waste management, Sharpton returned his focus to the music industry, which, as he observed in his first book, is an extremely dirty endeavor because it's a class business. Sharpton continued. Music is a street business, and that's where organized crime is, on the street. Still, he noted, I wanted to learn more. One of Sharpton's teachers was an ex-con named Robert Cunnington, a music producer with a questionable history that we already learned about him. They was trying to set your wife up. Look, all of this, y'all, he was setting all these niggas up. They was setting all these niggas up, man. Trying to get close to him. So that's why they wanted him. He was already selling coke. And he was close to the music industry. They was trying to tie in. They was trying to tie into the music industry. Well, they have tied in successfully now. I mean, but this just goes to show you how long. And it goes back to what I was saying about Young Boy. Like, the FBI has always been tapped into the fucking music industry. Always. Hip hop, especially. Black people music, especially, man. And Al Sharpton bitch ass participated. Yeah, we gotta read all of this, man. Look, he go hang with Michael Jackson. He just all over the motherfucking place, ain't he? James Brown, Michael Jackson, Muhammad Ali. This nigga every motherfucking way. Punk ass nigga. No, it wasn't his wife. No, it wasn't his wife. It was the other guy's wife. She was she was like a record exec. It's this lady right here. Hold on. This lady right here. Epic Record, Sylvia Rome. They try to get her ass too. Damn, y'all. Nah, it's gonna be a slow day today. Yesterday was busy as a bitch. Yesterday was busy as shit. I'm ready to get out this fucking car. Ugh. Now we need to look into the Bloods and the Crips. Who the fuck started them? Like, who really started them? Like, I ain't talking about no faces. Who really started these gangs, man? I guarantee the Feds started all that shit. I guarantee you These COINTEL agencies, the ones that really started all these gangs. You know, we hear about Tookie Williams and all of that. Who sparked his interest? Who sparked his interest, man? I bet it was a federal informant. Oh, shit. Look, I was ready to sit right here. Look at this big ass spider. I was ready to sit right there. I sit right there now. What the fuck we from there? Bet it was a federal informant. So when people say, black people always complaining, black people don't take no accountability, and all the dumbass shit that people be saying, that's because some black people know what's really going on. You feel me? And know how it started. Like I said, there was no way they could have came at Al Sharpton like that if he wasn't already selling cane. There's no way they could have did it. That is entrapment. That's entrapment. The only way they can get you like that, and I learned this from the case of the councilman they locked up in D.C. I just learned this recently, this year. The councilman that they locked up in D.C. He tried to say that he was being entrapped, and I looked into it, and it broke down how the feds is able to do it without it being called entrapment. They gotta have some type of knowledge that you're already doing this. They gotta have some type of knowledge. It's cold as shit over here next to this water. They gotta have some type of knowledge that you're already moving like this. Hold up, y'all. I gotta get my motherfucking jacket. Hold up, it's cold. Bitch. They got turkeys and shit in here. Not fucking cold as a motherfucker. Well, not cold as a motherfucker, but it's a little chilly in the shade. Yeah, he had to been already in the game. That's the only way they can do it. That's the only way they can do it. Flip this bitch ass. They thought Don King was selling coke. Probably was too. Yeah, I be questioning all them niggas. Ice Cube. All of them. It's saying this what it just saying like to me, y'all. It's saying like to me, right? All the guys that help push their narrative, their agenda. Back then, they still around. Not the ones that died, but they're not just around. They're around living lavish, like Snoop, like Ice Cube, like Dr. Dre, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, only black man on a baseball team. What other black man owns a baseball team? Majority owner. Knowing how racist it is. Michael Jordan wasn't even a majority owner. I think he is now, eventually. Yeah, but it ain't start off that way. Well, he might have sold it. I ain't sure. Oh, man. Ice Cube got the big three. Yeah, man. Ice Cube got the big three. Yeah, they don't be letting people do that shit, yo, without blocking it, man. You feel me? So when they give you a pathway to that, yo, it's a reason why, yo. NWA helped push gangster rap. It ain't no other group. Name me another group, right? From back then, right? Just think about this. Name me another group from back then. They got two guys out that group that's worth the amount of money as Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. Name me another group. What's another group that got the money like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube that was around When rap turned gangster. That's probably why Eazy-E had to go. He probably wasn't with it. Because Eazy was a real gangster. And then you find out that Ice Cube and Dr. Dre wasn't even on no, you know what I mean? They was good kids for real. Got the real gangster out of there. Yeah, I just try to go what makes sense. You know, it's very seldom I'm gonna go with the narrative unless it makes sense. And the way I come to this terminology of what makes sense is what I know about history of the federal government and how predatory they are and how much interest they have in sowing destruction and confusion in the black community. And you got people that participate. You got black sellouts. Got black sellouts that participate, especially in the music industry. You know what I mean? Especially in the music industry. Shit crazy. You see playing, y'all. Where's my phone at? Ray changed the title. See what happened if I change the title. Right, y'all. Eh, he one of them. He one of them. I'm just telling you, just think about it, y'all. Think about their message. Their message, man. Jay-Z was the first. Jay-Z came out what? Drug seller. Yeah, man, he was the drug seller, man. Now look at him. Yo, it all lines up, yo. I'm trying to tell you, man. It all lines up. Jay-Z was the drug seller. Look where he at now. Ice Cube was the gangster rapper. Look where he at now. Magic Johnson faked like he had HIV. Look where he at now. I'm trying to tell you, man. All I gotta do is pay attention. All you gotta do is pay attention. As long as he play the game with him. The minute he don't play the game, they gonna do him like Diddy. The minute he don't play the game, they gonna do him like Diddy. What's up, Robert? That's why it's best not even play it. It's best not even play that game with them people, man. It's best not even play that game with them people, because you give them, they can make you and they can break you. They can make you and they can break you. Let me change the title. Black sellouts destroyed the community. Culture. Black sellouts destroyed black culture. What's up, Tara? I don't know nothing about that. Well, yo, they line Boosie up too. Yeah, I did. Yo, I don't know if you follow the channel or not, but I tried to warn Boosie what they was trying to do to him. Before Boosie got booked, before Boosie caught that federal case, I did a video saying, yo, Boosie, they trying to catch you with a pistol. It's on my page. Boosie, they trying to catch you with a pistol, yo. And the reason they came at the Boosie, because Boosie was speaking too boldly about that, man. He was going against the grain. Yeah, I mean, he's fucking up the business. Can't fuck up the business, man. Before Boosie caught that gun case, they pulled Boosie over like he did videos. Like, y'all keep pulling me over. Y'all keep pulling me over every time I go out the house. Y'all pulling my friends over. Man, they was trying to get Boosie for a strap, man. Because they know rappers have guns. And all they got to do is watch you long enough, you're going to slip. If anybody long enough, you're going to slip. Ain't nobody with this bitch exempt from making a mistake. Ain't nobody exempt. If they watch anybody long enough, eventually they gonna catch you down bad. That's what they did. Especially a rapper that ain't supposed to be around guns, but you're a rapper. Oh man, all we gotta do is watch his ass. We gonna pull his ass over once a month. We gonna luck up one day. One day he gonna be smoking weed. You know what I mean? He might catch him drunk. You know what I mean? Give us probable cause to search the vehicle. That's what they do, y'all. It's a dirty game, man. Go to my page. It's a video on my page. Before Boosie got booked, I said, yo, they trying to catch you with a pistol. Before Boosie got booked. That's how they operate. Because like I said before, like I was talking about the young boy situation. Well, he beat this, he beat that. So yeah, if they really running young boy, they'd have got him. You know what I mean? It's like, look what they doing to Dirt. Look what they doing to motherfucking Diddy. If they want you, they're gonna get you. They're gonna lie. They're gonna put out misinformation. They're gonna do all of that shit. They're gonna slander you in public. Like, this is the game that these people play, man. And it's not new. You know, it's an old game. That's why I'm confused as to why black people don't fully understand it. You know, this is a game that they always played. Like, this ain't nothing new. They've been playing this game since COINTELPRO. When I say the FBI and them COINTELPRO agencies is what fucked up the black community, yo, that's what it was. That's what it is. They just not taking accountability for it. But that don't mean it didn't happen. Or it ain't true. They probably had hell of them black activists probably was selling cane back in the 80s. Al Sharpton just the one that got exposed. Like I said, when it comes down to Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, how they survived that, y'all? They was killing all them niggas. Muhammad Ali, as vocal as he was, catch a disease where he can't talk no more. The last 30 years of his life, he couldn't even speak. Yeah, man. The last 30 years of that man's life, he couldn't even speak, man. Silenced his ass. People must not remember how vocal he was. Muhammad Ali went to prison because they didn't want to fight in the war. And the reason he didn't want to fight in the war is because he ain't like how black people's being treated. I don't know, y'all created it. Right turn, you tell me. Y'all created it. You let me know it was black culture. Well, it wasn't created by black people. Tell that motherfucker much, fuck boy. Let me know. Wasn't expecting that answer, was you? You dumb ass. Surprise the shit out you with that answer, didn't I? Stupid ass. Let me know. Right turn cycle. What is it? Yeah, well, answer that though, D. Yeah, I don't even talk about slavery, brother. This not a slave channel. We don't talk about slavery over here, man. We talk about things that happen after that. No, we don't go back to slavery. We talking about the crack epidemic now. What you know about that? No, I don't want to meet you. I want to have a conversation with you. What do you know about the crack epidemic? Did you know Jesse Jackson sold, Al Sharpton sold cocaine? A black activist? They're big as a bit. Who started it? Okay, so where did it come from? You lived through it. Who started it? Who started crack? Who started the crack? Okay. So how did they make it to where there's crack is in every major city across America? How did they make it to where there's the urban community? They don't want to talk about that. You ain't never think that was strange? Right turn only? For real? No, it spreads. That's how everything do. It starts one place and it spreads over. You ain't never thought that was strange? How crack just appeared everywhere in the urban community? No, but who? But they're not the ones that sold it. They're the ones that brought it over here. But who they give it to? I'm of now that they gave it to some of these motherfucking activists. Some of these political pawns. The black ones, the sellouts. That's what I think. I'm thinking a lot of these gangs were started from the CIA, FBI. That's what I think. That's what sounds more logical to me. That's what sounds more logical to me. Well, we started off talking about Al Sharpton and how he got caught trying to sell keys, trying to buy keys for 35,000 a kilo, 99% pure cocaine, 99% pure, man. That's serious. And it got me thinking how many of them more was like this. Like I said before, I don't believe if you made it out that civil rights movement as a civil rights activist without being murdered or being slandered, then you had to been compromised. Because back then they was killing them. They was killing them guys, man. I bet they did. That's what I'm saying. That's what they did. That's what they did. But if you fast forward to today, you see Al Sharpton with prominent figures in the black community. So now you gotta question them. If you know this history of Al Sharpton, why the fuck is you standing next to him? It came out in 2020. It came out in 2002. So for 23 years, people have known that Al Sharpton was a player in the crack epidemic. But yet he's been allowed to go to colleges and speak to fucking HBCUs. He's been the head of organized marches. So it makes you question all of the people that ever brought him up there to speak, all of the people that marched side by side with him. It make you question all of them. That's where I'm at with it. But then you got this guy called out 6ix9ine. Well, I told y'all it was a federal informant from the beginning. It's not been a federal informant. Man, shoot to Brazil, man.
Yo, I ain't say your name, I ain't even hint at you, but it was about snitching and ratting and why my Find me one. Tasha, you asked for what academic showed you a video. I ain't say your name, I ain't even hint at you, but it was about snitching and ratting and why am I shocked that you decided to take it as a diss? No matter how much interviews you do, bro, I see through everything. I know you. Every time that you do a podcast, a stream, every time that you get on, be accepted, insecure, the most. How much interviews you do, bro, I see through everything. I know you. Every time that you do a podcast, a stream, every time that you get on camera, all you keep doing is trying to plead your case. You are the most desperate, the most insecure, the most fiending to be accepted human being on this earth. Bro, since the day that you got home from jail, we are not letting you back into the culture. You're done. Bro, you rat. You're a fed. You're a federal informant. We know you. I know you. See, a lot of people get very, very confused. No matter how much chains, no matter how much watches, no matter how much rings, no matter.
They know, right? That's my thing, though, right? We share that same energy for Al Sharpton. We should feel even more strongly about Al Sharpton.
Cars you drive, no matter what you buy, you are never going to be back into this. No matter how much views, no matter how much money you get, you are never going to be back. Welcome into this culture. You are never going to be good at the cool table. You're never going to be invited to the cookout, nigga. Nigga, I am your ether, nigga. This is the truth that you didn't want to hear. Nigga, when I met you, you never used a drug in your life. Now you're getting caught with meth, MDMA, cocaine. Why? Because every single day when you try to lay that head on that pillow at night and you try to go to sleep, you know you're not peaceful. You know that no matter what the fuck you do, what you accomplish, no one's ever gonna stand by you. Nigga, I apologize to 50 Cent for even bringing this nigga around you. Nigga, I was around when everybody used to be like, yo, watch it. That nigga's tactical. He knows how to use social media so crazy. Nigga, I was there when I taught you that shit, nigga. I was there when you used to ask, how does 50 Cent go viral? How? Is he listening to the music? I apologize, 50, for telling you to rock with this nigga. I apologize to the culture for bringing this nigga around. Nigga, I'm one of the scientists that created you, nigga. This Frankenstein character that you are, nigga, I was there day one. I was there when we put gang around you to make you feel comfortable. I was there when they used to give you that heart, nigga, to be tough. I was there when you was in the studio writing all of those records, nigga, right? Wrong, nigga. Every time that y'all see a song, go look at the credits. It's always gonna be multiple names. This nigga don't write his own motherfucking music. You are a created player, nigga. Everything that you do, you trying to get accepted, you never gonna be good in this culture. Bro, every single time that you got a woman around you, I want you to know that they look at you like a dollar bill. I want you to answer this question to yourself, nigga. How many women have you ever had? Any of these bad bitches that you ever had that you ain't buy a purse, a necklace, a chain, or spend that bag, nigga? They only want you for that money, nigga. You are a plate, nigga. You are a meal ticket. Every single person around you, nigga, is only around you because you got money, nigga. They don't fuck with you. Bro, you are dishonorable. You are disloyal, nigga. Nobody will ever stand with you. This culture, every time that we see you, nigga, we know that you ain't good at the cookout, nigga. You ain't welcome here, nigga. And you dare try to play the race card like niggas don't fuck with Spanish. Bro, everything that you do, bro, is a desperate attempt to get the culture turned on your side, and we're never standing with you. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you buy, no matter what view you get, you keep chasing viral. That's why you say everybody's name in every video you do, because you need them to make the headline viral. You are not like that. You are not popping. You are not hot. What you are is a desperate, lonely, fiending to get accepted nigga. Danny, you caused all of this. Find me one lie. Takashi, you asked for what academic showed you a video. I ain't say your name. I ain't even hint at you, but it was
6ix9ine was a plant from the beginning. I just be trying to open your eyes up, yo, to see a different perspective on what's going on out here, man, because it ain't right. And I didn't think like this until I started seeing how YouTube operates and what they promote, you know, versus what they don't. What gets interviewed versus what get ignored. You understand what I'm saying? They reward fuckery. People that don't have a real message. You know, because if they had people on here with a real message, then we can see some real changes. They don't want real changes. So it's no monetary value to that. You know what I mean? Real changes are crippled certain aspects of the United States economics. And COINTELPRO is still here. Like I did a video early the other day, digital COINTELPRO. That's what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with digital COINTELPRO. And then when you talk about the crack epidemic and how it was spread, y'all think they use federal informants to do it. Either it was directly or indirectly. You know what I mean? Either the people that was pushing all that shit was working with the feds, or they was copping from the feds and didn't know it. I also believe that a lot of these old guys that was rapping in the 90s and the 80s that's still around and worth billions and hundreds of millions and, you know, that type of shit, I believe they help. So that's why they being rewarded. That's why certain do for others. That's why. That's why Dame Dash is going through what he going through and Jay-Z is worth billions. Yo, it's not always about, it's probably never about doing good business. You know, they talk about Jeffrey Epstein. They talk about he was a terrible businessman, but he was worth billions. You feel me? How is a terrible businessman worth billions? They say he was a financier, but everybody that talked to him said he was incompetent. So what was his real purpose? What was he here to do? How did he get this money? How did he accumulate this wealth? That's how the country is ran, man. You know how they always say it ain't about what you know, it's about who you know. That shit real, man. But make sure y'all share that live, yo, because YouTube may give us no rhythm on this video. Hit my motherfucking brother back, see the fuck you're doing. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. It's another day, keep what you need. And I'm out.